guys, welcome to Steele-ing The Show. I'm your host, Tony, and this is
Chad Steele.
Tonight, we're going to talk about a very sensitive subject. We're not going to take a whole lot of time. We're going to hop into it, okay? Tonight, we're talking about fat phobia and the way those who are a little plus size, a little juicy, like I say, have been discriminated against. This is a very sensitive subject, so I want to go ahead and say viewer discretion advised. Again, viewer discretion advised. It's going to get real tonight, and this is actually going to be a two-part episode. So we're going to hop right in. Before we get started with everything, I really wanted to give an actual definition of fat phobia. We hear about homophobic, we hear about racism, we hear about other things, but I want to help people understand what it is first off. So fat phobia is weight bias, sometimes also called fat phobia or weight stigma, describes the negative attitudes and stereotypes surrounding and attached to larger bodies. Further, fat phobia is an abnormal and irrational fear of being fat or being around fat people. We talk a lot about racism. We talk a lot about ageism, sexism, but we really don't talk about how much being plus size, being bigger, large, juicy. I mean, there's so many different adjectives to describe how it affects you in your everyday life. And I think that this is a good subject for those who are larger to have a platform to be able to hear somebody actually finally speak about it, right? Or even some of our smaller bodies to be able to understand a little bit more about how it makes you feel being a bigger person.
Someone's appearance doesn't necessarily, equate their health.
Right.
Either. You can't always go off of how this person looks. You have people that are much smaller than bigger people, and they go through the worst health issues you could possibly think of.
Exactly.
You have healthy, big-boned people that have tried it, literally tried all the regimens you can think of. Sometimes it's genetics. It really is. You have people that are just naturally built that way.
Right. Right. And so what I want to do is tonight we're going to talk about some things, but we also want to show you some videos. So I want to get into that first video that we have and kind of discuss some of the things that we, are feeling with that.
So this first video, this guy, I came across this video. His name is Orange Peanut. First of all, your name is Orange Peanut, but
let's get into it.
Let's play this.
I don't even know.
Oh, there you go.
Again, delusion. This isn't confidence. This is just lying to yourself. Next up, when people will pay thousands of dollars to not look like me, and then there's some sort of reaction here. But the point is, I would give up my life savings. I would reset to homeless to not look like that because I wouldn't live. Part of my happiness comes from confidence in looking good. I don't understand what's the bad rap that everyone gives to looking good. It's cool to look good. You get compliments. It's cool, but you're not getting any compliments.
You gonna restart that part?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we're gonna restart the whole scene.
It was kind of just like, how do you have confidence when you're fat? Confidence has no size. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say if you like the way you look, truly, not one of those delusional, I'm beautiful. If you genuinely enjoy, if you're at the point like me where you stare in the mirror and just drool because you're so beautiful, that's confidence. That is something that will give you confidence. She has no confidence whatsoever. I'm not saying it's impossible to be confident when you're that big, but it certainly helps if you're in good shape. Okay, so let's see what else she has to say. Carrying the weight of being the fattest friend and the hottest friend. Well, I will give her this. She's definitely carrying weight. And she's probably carrying the weight of being the fattest friend, assuming she has friends. But
wow,
it would take a very ugly person for her to be the hottest friend. Like, that friend group has to look like something coming out of, I don't even know. Again, delusion. This isn't confidence. This is just lying to yourself. Next up, when people will pay thousands of dollars to not look like me, and then there's some sort of reaction here. But the point is, yeah, I would give up my life savings. Life savings. I would reset to homeless to not look like that. Because I wouldn't live. Part of my happiness comes from confidence in looking good. I don't understand what's the bad rap that everyone gives to like looking good. It's cool to look good. You get compliments. It's cool. But you're not getting any compliments looking like that. In fact, you are going to get some stares, but because they're like, damn, I didn't know whales could walk. That's why you're getting the stares. It's just not a good way to live. That's
now,
Wait.
first,
Because
no, first of all, no, wait. We get compliments. Anytime we out together somewhere,
the time.
we get compliments. When we was out brunching that day, that lady was sitting across us just smiling and stuff. I seen her. I seen her as soon as we sat down. Like people looking, they saw how fly we was.
Yeah. Okay, there's so much to unpack. I'm trying to take it all in. There was a couple of things that he said right off that let you know just how insecure he is.
Yeah.
See, what I feel and what I honestly see is that people like to talk about fat because it's an easy outward show of the inward insecurities that they're dealing with. If you can look at someone and immediately differentiate, okay, they're larger size, they're bigger, and I'm smaller, I could be dealing with a whole lot of insecurities, but your insecurity or what I deem as a flaw, keyword I think is a flaw, right? I can easily point that out. Whereas when people like himself, he clearly looks like he's like a gym rat and he's all like drinking his pre-workout and getting serious stuff. And, and he does all of this and he's working to look a certain type of way. And he has based his self-worth off of his looks. So if he said, oh, I look in the mirror and I drool. That's like true, very narcissistic, conceited, like full of yourself, grandiose, because honey, I wasn't attracted to you. I don't care how many muscles you have. Nothing about you made me want to go drool in the mirror or drool while looking at you. Right. So beauty is subjective. But I think that one of the first things that I noticed from that video was just how full of himself he was. And when you have that grandiose type of nature, it typically means that you're dealing with or have dealt with insecurities before. And so you've put yourself on this pedestal. Mm-hmm. So it's like this pedestal that people are put on with when it comes to being plus size, that because I'm plus size, I'm knocked down a peg or two. I can't think that highly of myself. He was not allowing her to have confidence in herself or saying that it was fake. I've experienced that on multiple occasions. I've had people tell me like, oh, I've never been around a plus size girl or a big girl who thought she was this cute or been that cute before, or you're cute for a big girl type thing. Yeah. I've experienced that.
I've gotten that plenty of times. I had a supervisor tell me one time, Chad, you just take so good care of yourself. You always come looking clean and you look nice. You dress nice for a big dude and stuff. And I'm just like, why do they always have to put for a big anything in the equation? Just give me that compliment as if you would a skinny person without saying that. You don't hear me saying, oh, you dress nice for a skinny person.
Right. And then even that word skinny, a lot of people don't like to be called that either. I think that...
And you know how many skinny people that I've met that don't want to be skinny?
Yeah. And I think that too, that what has to be understood is that I'm a person and I'm a human, and my size does not put a smaller statured person above me.
Yeah.
It does not make them better than me. It does not make them more attractive than I am. It doesn't make any of those things. And this, it's been argued Well, you know what? Before we do that, let's get it to the next video.
Okay, so the next video is gonna be this one YouTuber named Butterfield. I believe it's Isaac or Isaac Butterfield. But he's gonna be talking about how fatphobia is racist. He's also gonna be talking about how 80% of black women are quote unquote obese.
Overweight. What do I mean by that? 80% of African American women are overweight. Okay? Half of all of the African American women in America are obese. That is a massive number. Now, why is this? Because this is madness. Is it a diet thing? Is it an exercise thing? No. You idiots. It's racism. That's what causes fat women. You fucking idiots. When are you going to learn?
Let's go directly to that next video.
So the next video is going to be the sisters talking. This is so my reason for showing that clip is because he was talking based on the next video that's about to play. And when you listen to these sisters talk, I mean, it makes sense because, you know, we go off of a chart that doesn't even have anything to do with black anatomy. Play.
They only give you 3 days. You go back to work, pay bills, take care of your daughter, your household, but you didn't mourn not one parent, but both parents. And then on top of that, you still gotta get up every day and go to work and pay the bills and produce and be that person people think you're supposed to be. You're dying inside, you're stressed inside, you're not taking care of yourself. There's no exercise, there's no meditation. Now, today, I'm getting better. The weight, it's definitely stress. I don't take care of myself as I used to, but I'm praying about it, moving forward and making small changes in my life. But when that video came on, I resonate so much with that because that's what I was dealing with.
So I actually want us to hold up a little bit before we do this thing where we start blaming ourselves. Like, I hate when people talk about black women being obese. I hate it. Because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We're moving, we're taking care of kids, but our food quality suffers. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. You can't get access to good health care, good insurance. The research says that black women, when we do the same diets as white women, we lose less weight and we lose it slower, even when we're following the diet than our white women counterparts. And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same.
And I'm with you. I'm with you. But I think it's also really important for us to know that we have the power to choose how we see ourselves.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that video, it was very powerful. I think that there's a lot to talk about. And one of the first things that I think is really important to first of all understand is that she touched on stress. We know that in this country, just historically, statistically, those people who are BIPOC, Black, Indigenous, or people of color, experience poverty. We experience lack of quality food. We experience, trauma, a lot of stress, at a much higher rate or disproportionate rate than our white counterparts. This is clear. This is true. These are facts. This is not fiction, nor is it opinion. We also have to understand that stress produces cortisol within your body, which usually goes to your stomach, and helps to rapidly produce fat cells. I know myself personally, I experienced some very traumatic abuse as a youngster, and I started putting on weight almost immediately. I started putting on weight at 8 years old, and I gained, I would say, probably like 50 or 60 pounds over a summer. I went from being a normal sized kid to being obese in a matter of 3 months.
And you know, I was never a skinny kid ever. I was always an obese kid. Always came up obese, my entire life. You know, just eating everything fried, everything processed, things that was affordable in our community. And like she said, trauma, all types of things. Those it plays a big part, throughout my years of trying to lose weight. I had went vegan. I had started studying the holistic medicines and stuff like that, and different natural minerals and herbs, and stuff to help you lose weight, stuff to help cure the problem, and not temporarily get rid of the problem. You know, but look, what that lady said was powerful, and it was real. A lot of people may not agree, because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh man, whatever. She's just making an excuse, and you can get up and you can do this and you can do that." But when life is lifing, it gets hard.
When you're just trying to make sure that you can take care of your bills and make ends meet
and survive, yeah.
The last thing on your mind is going to the gym. The last thing on your mind when you're in a stressful and traumatic situation is, let me set my alarm to 5 a.m. so that I can go run. The last thing, that idea of exercising and taking care of our bodies is not even something that was ingrained in the psyche of the culture of the African American community. When we get ready to celebrate, ain't nobody saying, "Hey guys, let's celebrate. Let's go to hike."
And
now, let me finish.
I'm sorry, babe.
But the thing is, this one. But listen, nobody is saying let's go on a hike. What they're saying is let's cook. Let's come together. Let's make your favorite meal, because guess what? I might not be able to afford to take you on a nice trip for your birthday. I may not be able to afford to buy you this new gizmo or gadget that you really wanted. But what I can do is get in this kitchen, and I could go to the grocery store and I can manage to put together some groceries. Or if I have food stamps, give me some food stamps together. And I can manage to make you one of your most favorite meals. And I'm going to add all the love and the butter and the whip and the sugar and all the things. And I'm going to make a whole spread, because that's what traditionally what we do. We're even going all the way back to our African culture. That's the way we celebrate. We come together and we break bread and we eat. The problem is that what we're eating, the portions in which we're eating, the access to healthier food. You know that when you're trying to eat healthy. I mean, we were just talking about this the other day. When you want to eat healthy, it is extremely expensive.
Yes, it is.
You can go to McDonald's right now and get a McDouble and a French fry for $3.
$3. Why we know? Because we done slipped up and ate some of that.
Listen, for $3. And guess what? It's us and 3 children. Mm-hmm. So think about that. 3 times 5 plus tax. For less than $20, you can go and feed your whole family. Right. However, if you want to go and do the same meal, maybe have a salad or a healthy alternative. For 5 people, you're spending, go to say Panera Bread. For 5 people to eat healthy, you're going to spend at the minimum, and I do mean minimum, $70 to $80. So if you're coming from a place where you are trying to survive, which alternative are you going to choose?
And it don't help it none because, all year round we eating collard greens, cornbread, dressing, candy yams, macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, hot dogs on the grill, hamburger on the grill. You know what I'm saying? And we have that stuff piled up on that plate. We be wanting a little bit of everything. And it's hard. It's hard.
And when you want to make a change, right? Go into hearing it. Okay, so all of that aside, right? Okay, so we know the issues, we know what we deal with, but then let's talk about genetics. Genetically speaking, in the African American community, we are bigger people. We got bigger bodies, bigger bones. We're naturally fluffier.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the Sarah Bartman story, if you don't know who Sarah Bartman is, look her up. She was an African woman who was brought over to Europe, and they paraded her around. She was sold sexually, and she ended up dying of a sexually transmitted disease. But she had a big booty. It was big. It was what people now pay money to get. But at that time, it was literally a phenomenon. She was literally a cultural phenomenon when they saw this woman and they sexualized her body. And when you see that, you see it in so much of our music, our culture today, sexualized her body. But the truth is that she carried more weight than what was normal for white people. And so they looked at her and they ostracized her. They what's the word? I can't think of it right now, but basically they just put her out there. They exploited her. There we go. They exploited her sexually, physically. And she died a terrible death. And so when you think about that, okay, bigger people, even slavery, when they went and they picked, they're not slaves. When they took Africans from Africa and brought them over here against their will, they were strong, healthy men, strong, healthy women, and of great stature who was able to come over here and do the backbreaking work that they didn't want to do. So this genetics, it's within us. So when you look at these charts and it talks about like, oh, if you're 160 pounds or over, you're overweight.
You're overweight. That chart does not apply to us. And they need to update that chart. They need to create a chart for Black people, Now
let me just
say
this.
They don't have one already.
Let me just say this so that there won't be any discrepancies. I am an obese woman. I am not a healthy size. The reason why I know that I'm not a healthy size is simply based off of my health. If I am having issues health-wise with my body, if I'm having these diseases that are coming up against me or that run in my family, simply based off of my diet and lack of exercise, that means that there's something that needs to be changed. I understand that when losing weight, I am healthier and I further extend my lifetime by getting healthy. So I don't want this conversation to be one that people take and run with and say, oh, see, they're just encouraging people to be unhealthy. They're just encouraging people, because that's not it at all.
Because you can still be big and healthy.
Absolutely. And even when I lose weight and as I'm losing weight, I'm going to always be a bigger woman. I'm just going to be a healthy, bigger woman. I want to get into that next video.
Yeah.
I also never said the items weren't cute. They are, but this quality is giving clearance bin. And any influencer who says otherwise, I do not trust them. Last one. I feel scammed by Jordan Woods for $400, so I'm done following. That's it.
All right, let's get into it. Let's break.
Okay, so let's understand this. All right, because you put something on and you don't like the way your body looks at it, it doesn't give you the right to attack the dress, ma'am. Okay. I've spoken before on why the concept of weight is such a touchy subject when it comes to Black women. And it's a touchy subject because a lot of Black women have gone through a lot of trauma. Overeating is a form of self-sabotaging. Being fat and staying fat is a form of self-sabotage. I've been counseling women for a long time. I have over 600 women that I have spoke to one-on-one and talked to. And I'm going to tell you all right now, consistently what I have seen, the underlying cause on why women get big and stay big, and it normally is from trauma from SA. The woman subconsciously blames herself for the SA, and she subconsciously feels as though by attracting attention is why she got SA'd. And so they get big and stay big in order to it to be like a defense mechanism almost, so that they will not attract. And from what I've seen, speaking.
This is so stupid in so many different ways, right? First of all, she took a real psychological issue that people deal with when they deal with trauma, and she equated that to the lady not liking the quality of the clothes.
Mm-hmm.
She also said that a woman being plus size is self-sabotage. That is not always true. And I don't necessarily think of it as self-sabotage. What she was referring to were women in SA, for those who are trying to figure out what that means. It means sexual assault. And so what her argument is, I guess she's saying that all women are getting big because they've experienced sexual assault and they eat themselves to cocoon themselves. Some of that is definitely true. Absolutely true. And I think it can definitely be a psychological issue combined with the trauma and the cortisol that we talked about earlier. I get it. Self-soothing through eating, all of those things. All of those things are real psychological issues. They're genetic issues. They're behavioral issues that have come up before. But this has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. That lady did not like that outfit. She didn't like those clothes, and she had an opinion.
The material was very, very thin, and I'm big on material.
And so for her to fix her mouth, to go on this woman's her influencer page or whatever, and to try and make that be that is egregious.
And mind you, this young lady that was modeling the clothes, she's very, very popular. She got an endorsement with Nike. I forgot the young lady's name. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. But a lot of people who see her, y'all know exactly who she is. But she's very popular. She advocates for full figure women, and she's all about body positivity. And for this lady to say all that messed up stuff,
really
they always, but they always try to dig deep, like it's a deeper thing. Like, why can't this person really genuinely love themselves?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's the thing. Like, I had to ask myself a question one day, and I had to say, Tony, do you not like yourself because you don't like yourself, or do you not like yourself because the world told you not to like yourself?
And it's always society. I had a friend that was like that.
When did you wake up and decide?
Society say that.
When did you wake up and decide that you weren't pretty? And who told you that you weren't good enough? And who told you that being plus size or being big or being bigger than the others is a problem? And where did that come from? Where did that derive? And when you kind of go all the way back, it usually derives from childhood. It usually derives from, there's a video that you had for Disney. Where's that one?
Oh, yeah. So actually, yes, it does derive from childhood.
Let's go ahead and go right into the video.
Check this one out with Disney right here.
Throughout their movies. Most always, a character is portrayed as aesthetically ugly in order to show their evil personalities. Often, though, these characters are designed to be significantly larger than the protagonists of the same stories. We are brainwashed to be fatphobic, specifically towards women, from the earliest pieces of media we consume.
So we're all programmed with this Pavlovian response as a result of being raised in this culture to see a fat body, whether it's ours or somebody else's, and think, lazy, irresponsible, lacking willpower, unhealthy. And on the flip side, we're conditioned to see a thin body, whether it's ours or somebody else's, and have a Pavlovian response, mental and emotional and subconscious, that goes, thin body. Oh, they have willpower. They're not lazy. They're a good person.
Take that off. So, but yeah, since childhood, they have implemented that fat is bad, fat is lazy, fat is the enemy. They if you see all the villains that they ever make, they always fat. Dr. Robotnik on Sonic, fat. Like they just show Ursula, fat. Any villain that you can think of, they always fat, obnoxious, and mean. Why?
And I mean, not necessarily all villains are fat. Some of them are super skinny
yeah,
too.
some of them are.
And that, again, that kind of goes, but that's a whole nother subject, because those who are very smaller stature, they get discrimination against them as well. But going back to that programming, right? The thought process of, oh, I'm a bigger person, so there's something wrong with me, or I'm not as nice looking, I'm not as beautiful, I'm not as appealing. When you think about where that thought process comes from, you have to realize that that's something that was programmed within you. So what do you do with this, right? One of the people that I happen to like a lot, that a lot of people don't, is Lizzo. What I like about Lizzo is she's unapologetically herself. Some things that she does, I don't necessarily agree with. Now, would I put my booty out at the Lakers game? Probably not. However, she has paved the way of being unapologetically fat. Okay. She loves all her curves. She flaunts herself. And here's the thing. Their same counterparts, Chloe Bailey, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, other people that are smaller, they parade themselves around and show themselves off sexually, and they're praised. And people go get bodies to look like them, and they go add on to their bodies. Certain body parts are celebrated. Like if you have a big butt, but you can't have a big stomach. You know, you can have big boobs, but you can't have big back, you know? So it's like all of these different things that now women are going and literally changing, taking fat out of their stomach and putting it into their bottoms to try to round their figure out into this desirable size, right? So Lizzo, what I love about her is she celebrates women of all shapes and sizes, all curves, and she celebrates women for being who they are, and by their merit, by them who they are and their spirit, more so than their outside looks. But she is also one of the most hated. People come against her all the time, saying that she's delusional, that she shouldn't feel the way she feels, that she is promoting unhealthiness. And when you look at Lizzo's page, she's always eating something vegan. She's always eating something healthy. Sometimes she might eat something unhealthy, but she's human. And there's a clip that I want to show of just some of the things that she experiences.
Is in tears.
I feel so down. I worked so hard.
She says she's being fat shamed and the target of racist comments on social media after the debut of her new video, Rumors.
All the rumors are true.
It's a collaboration with a pregnant Cardi B. She's now addressing the comments head on.
It's fatphobic. And it's racist and it's hurtful.
Ironically, lyrics in the song deal with body shaming. Wearing a wig cap, she shares her pain.
It's like it doesn't matter how much positive energy you put into the world, you're still gonna have people who have something mean to say about you.
Lizzo couldn't hide her sadness.
I worked so hard.
See, that's a really, really good example of no matter what you accomplish, no matter how well you do, no matter, the positive energy, like she said, that you put out, all those things, you still experience the discrimination with being a larger body. And it's discouraging for me. I'm going to be honest. Let me keep it 100. being a businesswoman, I've experienced not only being a woman in business, CEO, but also being a plus size woman. I don't always get invited to the table. I don't always get invited to the events or be a part of the in crowd or the group. And I'm not stupid. I know a lot of that has to do with my size. I know it does. And I'm not delusional. I'm not crazy. I see the looks. I see the stares. I see the, oh, okay, girl, you a cute girl type of attitude. And it's not a genuine, okay, girl, you look cute, girl, but oh, who do you think you are type thing. And I experience that all the time, being a confident woman. I'm plus size, but I am very confident. And it's not something that I just that happened overnight. It's something that I have to continuously work on because there's always somebody around the corner trying to remind me of who I am. When I was in Atlanta, I had an experience with being a plus size woman, straight up discrimination. I'm not going to go all the way into it, but I experienced it and it was very hurtful to me. It actually triggered me. And I don't think I've ever been triggered. I hadn't been triggered like that in a very long time, but I was very upset by it. So much so that on my plane ride home, I wrote a full short film that will be coming out, talking, just kind of going over the different things that you experience being plus size. Mm-hmm. And people don't realize every day how many times we are reminded that we're bigger people.
All the time. Is you know, I get tired of the fact that they be like, oh, big dudes, they good for taking you out to eat. Oh yeah, big homie, he spend money. He be throwing that money. You know why?
Or big girls, they gonna make sure you can do whatever you want because they just want a man. They just want somebody to want them.
Let me tell you something. It's bigger people out there that's fly, keep themselves up, that actually love themselves, that smell good, and they gonna look at you and be like, "You got me fucked up." For real. They're gonna be, oh, you better go over there with the next person because no, this ain't that.
And I think that in order for us to,
no, you good.
I think that in order for us to do something different, we have to recognize the issue. This is not something that's gonna go away overnight. However, I think it's something that needs to continuously be talked about and be addressed. Listen, y'all, I'm tired, okay? I got some good news to share with y'all. It's going to be coming out June 1st, so y'all be on the lookout for that.
Be on the lookout.
But again, y'all, we're just talking about fatphobia. I think it's a good conversation to have. If this is a conversation that y'all want us to continue, or if you are a person who's experienced it, or maybe even have something to say, maybe even an opposing view, let us know. We would love to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Guys, want to thank you so much for tuning in to Steele-ing the Show with Chad and Tony Steele.
Yes, and also y'all be on the lookout for the cipher that's coming up.
Oh, yes.
Next weekend.
No, because when this airs, it'll be the same week.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
this week, June
my
3rd.
bad. This week, June 3rd is going down. So y'all come through, MCs, singers, poets, all of the above. If you call, if you got them lyrics, come and do your thing. Hop on the cipher, see what's up. And we got trophies for the top winner. So whoever the dopest in the cipher, you get a trophy for the week.
Not only do you get a trophy, but you get 3 hours of studio time.
Oh, yeah, that's
you get a podcast interview on Zip Squad, which he has thousands of followers.
Yes.
You get promotion on all of Space Create socials. So listen, if you are interested, please visit our website, www.spacecreate.org. Again, that's www.spacecreate.org, and get signed up. Space is limited. We are having people sign up and we want to get people in. Also, producers. We're looking for producers. So if you got some dope music, some beats, please send that to our way at info@spacecreate.org. We'll make sure we put it on, let people know who you are. Include your links and your socials. Again, that's info@spacecreate.org. Again, guys, we want to thank you so much for tuning in to Steele-ing the Show with Chad and Tony Steele. Baby, you have anything else you want to add?
Oh, just love yourself. Be kind. Meditate.
Yes.
Take good care of yourself. Exfoliate. Moisturize. Brush your teeth. Take baths
Wash your butt.
twice a day, you know. Go get your feet done, get a manicure, get your hair done, you know. Do all those good things. Self-care, love, and hair grease.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Peace, love, and hair grease.
Is that what it is? Love, peace, and hair
Love,
grease.
peace, and hair grease.